This failed trail guide will show you the crazy way that we broke the Cherokee, but don't worry, Sean and I won't be offended if you don't watch it. Hey there guys, my name is Dewie Jones. I'm a Colorado off-roader, and what I do is I film trail guides that show off Colorado, but also have unique off-road action. We cover the trail from start to finish. Now today we are doing Red Cone. I am extremely excited. Now if you guys remember, Sean, who's in a lot of these trail guides, we did Kelly Flats together and his pucker factor was a little higher, so we're gonna see how it is tonight. And also, we got Jason from Oxfoot today holding it down for you Toyota owners, because I cannot get any Toyotas out on these trail guides for me. These trail guides are designed for all of you guys. So if you have a Toyota, let me know in the comments. And if you're willing to come on one of these trail guides, I'd love to have you. This video started off like any other trail guide where we focus on capturing the entire trail so you can decide if it's one you want to do yourself. However, we also want to capture the day and show you exactly how it happened for us. That includes the good and the not so good. Unfortunately for us, this one is full of not so good and results in one of our worst trail days to date. So here it is. Funtrek says the thing you're going to remember about Red Cone is the extremely steep descent at the end, but that won't be the case for us. Now this 6-mile trail is rated as difficult to severe by both Funtreks and Trails Off-Road. It has a high point of nearly 13,000 feet and is generally run from south to north one way. The trail starts out tight, narrow, and rocky and ends with a steep, loose descent surrounded by incredible views. Now we're going to show all that, but this one is going to focus on the not so good, so hopefully what happened to us doesn't happen to you. Full size spare?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we have Sean hard at work getting his spare tire out from his overlanding vehicle with all the overlanding stuff out there. Will he be able to complete this spare tire change on the trail in his Cherokee KL? We will see.
I can change a tire.
All right, so now we're looking at Sean's tire before he gets it off. It looks like right here is where the gash is. I'm not sure how it got in, but it's a Baja Champion, so
Yeah, sand.
it's something.
Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, don't edit that out.
The only thing that really sucks about this is the perfect time for us to be doing the trail. There hasn't been any vehicles come by.
Oh yeah, thanks. I appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, I found a spot kind of to pull off, but it's a little sketchy.
At this point in time, we decided to continue on with the trail as we thought more tire issues for Sean's highly rated KO2s were unlikely, and we believed that my JK stock tire could be used in a worst case or emergency situation.
Whoa, was almost done. Thank you. About time you do something helpful.
I'm video recording. Your viewers want to see this stuff.
Viewers want to see me not move my car. Trust me.
In case you are new here, Sean and I are buds and we're all on the same page about getting the best footage that we can for you guys in these videos. Now with that said, in the future when I pop a tire, Sean will be the one recording me as I change it out. Anyway, we are back on the trail with a shaky worst case scenario plan, but let's be real here, we all wheel a lot and this was the first tire we lost, so we got this. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Okay, you're right on. More passenger. Alright. All clear, made it look easy.
So that rock that was sticking out to the right is what turns this from a trail guide into a failed trail guide. Now we wouldn't realize anything was wrong for quite a while, and we continue to shoot the trail like we normally do. But after a brief stop to figure out what are the next things we need to film, I take off to set up a shot of Jason and Sean at a water crossing. However, I would soon get a radio transmission telling me to return to the camp spot as something went wrong. So folks, this is why you don't get KO2s. It's not you, your tires failed. You didn't fail. So Sean, why am I losing my spare tire?
Can you just shoot me in the face, please?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Because the greatest reviewed all-terrain tires that have ever been in the history of tires have had the flukiest situation ever.
What PSI are you running? I was thinking maybe he's just running too low of air on it, allowing it to catch.
No, because when we did Cliffhanger and we did Pennsylvania Gulch, I was at 15. I think it's actually going to fit. 2.5 and supposedly on these things. And use this, it's just a 32?
It's the stock 32. It's 32.2, I think. 32.1.
I think it's going to fit in the back. It'll be weird.
Well, we probably should have looked this up beforehand, but the 5 spokes of the Wrangler and the 5 spokes of the Cherokee do not match up.
Is that what the internet says?
No, I'm just I'm video recording, telling the people what's going on right now.
I need to put air back in it again.
It's slowing it down though.
Is it?
Yeah, you don't hear it as much. You heard it pretty significantly before.
All I hear is air.
This is probably where I made the wrong call. Due to the trail's narrowness and pretty much one-way nature, we decided to split up. Sean would limp his Cherokee back to the trailhead against the flow of traffic on the much shorter path. Meanwhile, Jason and I would run the full loop with the plan to meet Sean back at the trailhead. We believed this was the best plan as we thought taking 3 vehicles against the flow of traffic was just a bad idea. That probably was the wrong decision, but we'll talk more about this once we link back up with Sean. Anyway, Jason and I focused on quickly getting through the trail. However, we took this as a good opportunity to improve our abilities to film quickly on the trail. That's what I'm showing you now, and please don't judge us on the quality of these rushed images. We just wanted to give you something more than just GoPro footage. I want to focus on keeping this video short, so we are going to quickly zip through the rest of the trail so we can catch back up with Sean and find out what happened to the Cherokee. Now for those of you that like and want a full trail guide on Red Cone, it's definitely coming. We have 2 full days of footage, so I think this is going to be one of our best ones yet. Now if you want to see a sneak peek of what vehicles we used in that video, I may have some posted on my Instagram. Otherwise, I'll have the video posted by the time the snow melts off the trails. So getting up the trail was taking longer than I thought it would. I estimated about an hour and a half for the rest of Red Cone and 30 to 45 minutes for Handcart Gulch, which would take us back to the trailhead. Instead, it had taken us about an hour and a half to get halfway through the rest of Red Cone. Complicating matters is that we lost contact with Sean with our radios and we did not have cell phone service. However, the last we heard from Sean is that our plan was working and that he was making progress down the trail. Still, we didn't like not having contact with Sean and kept pushing up the trail. It was also suspect as we had not seen any other vehicles pass us. Even though we were moving at a pretty good pace, we still can't do the trail as fast as other vehicles can, like side-by-sides. So that was a bit concerning that we didn't see anyone else on the trail. We stopped, or we were stopped by this group enjoying lunch above treeline. They somehow had gotten word from their friends below that there was a vehicle blocking the trail, and that's why we were no longer seeing vehicles on Red Cone. This was bad news, as we knew it had to be Sean and we still had a long ways to go to get back to the trailhead. The only bright spot here is that we are starting to get spotty cell phone service, so we hoped that we would hear from Sean soon. Once we learned what happened, we would be able to come up with a new plan. Well, we hope we would. Well, we finally got a hold of Sean here at the top of Red Cone's 12,801 foot peak. Sean told us he was doing pretty well and got through the bigger obstacle without issue. However, after he started losing air faster. Soon it wouldn't take air and he was at a point in the trail where there was no place to pass. He was worried about blocking the trail, so he tried to press on to a spot where he could at least get off to the side so others could pass. The tire got down to 5 psi and it came off the rim as he was getting around a rock. He then walked down to the bottom of the trail, but he didn't have cell phone reception, so he got a ride to where he had a signal from the campground's owner. So now knowing what happened, we came up with a new plan. I would go pick up Sean and he would work on borrowing a tire in the meantime. We would then do another tire change and get the Jeep off the trail. While I worked my way down to Sean, he found a fellow Cherokee owner camping near Red Cone who let us borrow his spare tire. That's what we're going to pick up next, so let's get there. After picking up Sean and the borrowed spare tire, we took off back towards Red Cone to replace the tire and get the Cherokee off the trail. However, luck would not be on our side.
I've never popped a KO2 ever.
I wasn't filming when we got to the Cherokee as I had my hands full. I was actually helping this time. But my fellow wheelers, these guys who were blocked by the Jeep, told me to get to the filming, and they even hooked Sean and I up with beers. These guys were awesome. They got the Cherokee jacked up and the flat tire off, only to discover we broke the Cherokee. Sean's outer tie rod had snapped when he came off the rock with that flat tire. This created a ton of force that the relatively beefy tie rod could not take. We didn't have a welder and both of us were just mentally exhausted. So what we did is we got back into cell phone service, consulted with our other wheeler friends, and came up with a plan. Now we're gonna pick up with that plan of the recovery in our next video. But if you want to see the Cherokee take on a harder trail, click right here. Subscribe if you want to see a detailed trail guide of Red Cone. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best.
This is just really bad. That's all. Oh, this is where we're gonna